Today, we'll explore the life of one of the most beloved companions and cousin of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Hazrat Ja'far bin Abi Talib. May Allah be pleased with him. If you would like to hear similar stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Hazrat Ja'far played a pivotal role in one of the most critical moments in early Islamic history, the migration to Abyssinia, or modern-day Ethiopia, and his fascinating exchange with the Christian king, by then Najashi. Hazrat Ja'far was raised in the same household as the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and grew up as a close companion. The Prophet once said, "Ja'far, you resemble me both, in appearance and in character." As the early Muslims faced relentless oppression in Makkah, the situation grew dire. The people of Quraysh were determined to stop the spread of Islam, subjecting the believers to torture, boycotts, and social isolation. In the face of this persecution, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, advised a group of early Muslims to seek refuge in a distant land called Abyssinia, ruled by a just Christian king known as Najashi. The Prophet knew that Najashi was a fair and kind ruler who would offer them protection. A small group of men, women, and children fled Makkah, embarking on a long and perilous journey across the Red Sea to reach Abyssinia. Hazrat Ja'far bin Abi Talib was chosen as the leader of this group, entrusted with the responsibility of guiding and protecting the vulnerable Muslims. When the Muslims arrived in Abyssinia, they were warmly received by Najashi, who gave them refuge in his land. However, the Quraysh were determined to bring them back. They sent two envoys, Amr ibn al-As and Abdullah ibn Abi Rabia, with gifts, hoping to convince Najashi to hand over the Muslims. The Quraysh envoys told Najashi that these refugees had abandoned the faith of their forefathers and had invented a new religion. They tried to stir suspicion and requested that the Muslims be returned to Makkah. Najashi, being a just ruler, summoned the Muslims to his court and asked them to explain their beliefs and why they had fled their homeland. Hazrat Ja'far bin Abi Talib stepped forward to represent the Muslims. He began by explaining the condition of the Arabs before the advent of Islam. "O king, we were people in ignorance, worshipping idols, eating the flesh of dead animals, committing shameful deeds, and severing ties of kinship. We neglected our neighbors, and the strong among us would oppress the weak. Then Allah sent us a messenger from among ourselves, whose lineage, truthfulness, trustworthiness, and integrity were well known to us. He invited us to worship Allah alone and to abandon the stones and idols we and our forefathers had been worshipping. He commanded us to speak the truth, to be faithful to our trusts, to be kind to our relatives, to be good neighbors, and to refrain from bloodshed and other forbidden acts. So we believed in him, followed his teachings, and worshipped Allah alone. For this, our people persecuted us and sought to force us back into the old ways of ignorance. When they oppressed us, we sought refuge in your land, trusting in your justice." Najashi was moved by Ja'far's words. He then asked about what the Muslims believed about Jesus, peace be upon him. Hazrat Ja'far recited verses from chapter 19 of the Quran, named Maryam, or Mary, the mother of Jesus. Upon hearing the verses, Najashi was overwhelmed. He took a stick and said, "By God, what you have said about Jesus does not exceed the difference of this stick." He then turned to the Quraysh envoys and firmly said, "I will not hand them over to you. They are free to live in my land in peace." Najashi returned the Quraysh's gifts and rejected their requests, offering the Muslims protection under his rule. He also later accepted Islam. The Muslims had found safety, and Ja'far's eloquence had ensured their continued freedom. In the 7th year of migration, or Hijrah, from Makkah to Medina, Hazrat Ja'far returned to Medina and joined the ranks of the Prophet's army, where he demonstrated unmatched bravery. He was martyred in the Battle of Mu'tah, carrying the banner of Islam, and was given the honorable title of Ja'far al-Tayyar, the one who flies. For it was said that in paradise he would soar with wings in place of the arms he lost in the battle. Hazrat Ja'far bin Abi Talib's story is one of faith, resilience, and the power of standing firm in the face of adversity. His legacy continues to inspire Muslims around the world, a reminder of the sacrifices made to establish the religion of Islam. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.